What's up, everyone? Before we get into our review, check out this awesome intro video that we were fortunate enough to receive from director Robbie Lopez and the star, Richard Speck himself, Michael Madsen. Check it out.
I've always felt like I was destined to do greatness.
I'm Michael Madsen, and I play Richard Speck in the upcoming film Born to Raise Hell from Crude Cinema and writer-director Robbie Lopez. Born to Raise Hell is a violent, raw retelling of the Richard Speck murders, told very much through a lens of as an homage to 60s cinema. It was fascinating working on this project. Robbie and the Crude Cinema team has a very unique way of working. We did a lot of rehearsal prior to shooting, so that when we arrived in Kansas City and started rolling, it was very much second nature. The relationships, the dialogue was all there, which meant that we could move at a very fast pace. We could do long, sweeping takes. As you will see, there's not a lot of cutting, a lot of coverage. It's long, beautiful takes that captures the action and the horrific nature of these events.
Like I was the one chosen to do something truly groundbreaking, something unforgettable and done by someone special. Me. Special.
Time to bleed this pig.
There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of sexual violence, and I think they all came through with flying colors as far as performance goes. I'm very excited about having this finally come out and for the world to see it.
Welcome to Stupid Movies, where we watch them so you don't have to.
That is right. This week we're watching Born to Raise Hell 2021. Directed by our friend Robbie Lopez over at Crude Cinema. Starring Michael Madsen, Chris Wolfe, and Abby Briscoe, among others. It's an hour and a half long. The rating is not rated.
If you haven't watched any of our previous stuff, we've done two of his other movies that he sent us. We did Texas Death Trippin'. We did that one twice, actually. We did the original and the accidental cut. Then we also did Head Cheese, the movie. All right, so we're stoked to get to do this one. So thanks for sending us the screener beforehand and everything as well. So this is based on a true story, of a Richard Speck. So what happened in Born to Raise Hell?
Sure. So first and foremost, he was a seriously fucked up dude. Like, he did all kinds of fucked up things, but his worst thing happened in 1966 when he broke into, it was basically a dorm for studying nurses, and proceeded to murder all of the people, all 8 of the students who were there. That is what this movie is. This movie is about that time period in that house.
Yep. We like crude comics. We like Robbie. We like stories based on true stories. What do we like about Born to Raise Hell? First up, if you've seen his previous movies, Texas Death Trippin' or Head Cheese, you know those are very silly, kind of corny, cheesy movies. Just fun, goofy stuff. This is definitely not that.
This is not that.
It is indie. It is low budget, but man, this is a very dark, serious movie. And I have to say the production value was a huge step up in this one and looked really good.
Before we go any further, I really want to throw out there that, okay, we are fans of his. He's a friend of the show. You've gotten to know him more than I have. I've talked a little bit over text on Instagram, but I know you've talked to him in person a couple of times now. Anyone who knows us knows that we're not going to let that interfere with our review. You can ask other directors that we've reviewed, and they will tell you that just because you're our friend doesn't mean that you get a pass on anything. I think it's very important to say that up front because holy shit, this is such a step up from his other two movies. I mean, the other two movies were fun. This movie felt almost like disturbingly realistic.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like this stuff was happening and someone happened to be there filming it. It did not feel like a movie. I don't know how to say it. It felt like I was watching something as it was happening. Like, my TV was just a mirror that I was, or not a mirror, but like a window. And I was watching this happen in the other room. And that is fucked up. The way the girls were screaming felt so realistic that I felt guilty watching it.
So the events and the story is very dark and disturbing and sick. I thought they captured that whole feel and that vibe, that dirty, just uncomfortable feeling from the start, and it stays that way through the whole movie. As a whole, I mean, I thought they really hit what happened and did a good job with it and just created that whole atmosphere that was just... I thought the camera work in this was really good. Some of that, I don't know what, the effects that they used, with the, I don't know, camera tricks or whatever, and some of the lighting they do, I thought it was really cool and really worked for what was happening. I thought acting was actually pretty decent in this. The guy that plays Richard Speck,
He was creepy as fuck.
did a great job. Yeah.
And I will say the girls especially, the job they had to do was tough because they had to... There's a difference between people who are really in terror and people who are in movie terror. This is not girls getting picked off at a lake in Friday the 13th.
Right.
And this is supposed to be realistic terror.
Yeah.
And that is a different type of terror. And I thought they nailed that. To the best of my knowledge, never having kidnapped a group of 8 girls and systematically murdered them, that is roughly what I expected it would look like.
Yeah. I thought that was all done really well. Well, shoot.
We don't like people.
We don't like people. So what did we not like about Born to Raise Hell? I got to point it out, and it's just me. I wouldn't say it's a dislike, but it is a slow-paced movie. Most movies based on true stories are like that. And it's not a fault or anything because it works really well for this movie. But for me personally, I struggle with anything that is... Almost anything that's slow-paced, I struggle.
So I get where you're putting it as a dislike, and I'm gonna flip the script and put it as one of my likes because it was realistic.
Yeah.
Because that is how reality works. Reality isn't exciting moment, exciting moment, exciting moment. It's exciting moment, and then usually minutes or hours or days, sometimes weeks and months before exciting moment again. So to me, that made it more realistic.
There's not much for blood, gore. I mean, it's not that kind of movie.
I thought about it, and I almost feel like it would be gratuitous to put it in.
Yeah, that's true.
There are kills, and they're not shied away from or anything.
Right.
They're not off screen. But this is not an effects extravaganza story. It's not that kind of movie. And I almost feel like it would be disrespectful to the story to put that in. I didn't like how it made me feel gross. That's what it was supposed to do, so it was successful at it. I don't have anything.
All right.
I really like this movie a lot. I liked it way more than I expected to. I mean, and that sounds like a knock against Crude Cinema and against Robert Lopez.
Oh, no, dude.
But I liked it way more than I expected to like it even. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to go into this and have fun. I was thinking we were getting, Texas Death Trip in Part 2,
Right.
Head Cheese Part 2, that kind of movie. So I was like, I'm just going to have some light, fluffy fun. And I absolutely did not have light, fluffy fun. It is not often that you see such a hard, dramatic shift in a director. He went from making comedy horrors, horror comedy, whatever you want to call it, that were effects heavy, gory, goofy, fun movies, to a very brutal, almost documentary style, cold, focused movie. This was amazing. I really did not expect this. Kudos to you for what you did here, man. No lie. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 8. I was blown away. Like, if you told me this was a big budget movie from a big studio, I would absolutely believe that. It just blew me away.
Yeah, I was very impressed by this. Like you, I knew the few that we did buy him, and Robbie's all about the creature stuff and the goofy, fun stuff. And for him to completely switch what he did and do a dark, serious movie, he set out to do that, and he absolutely succeeded with it, and it turned out great. He nailed that whole time period and everything. Everything was just done really well. The execution was great, looked good, and you can tell he's improving with everything he does. I gotta go 8 out of 8 too.
Yeah,
because it's just highly impressive, and I would definitely recommend checking it out. Good damn job, dude.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work.
I feel weird not having any recommendations like, oh, you should, if you trim this up or if you fix this here. It's like, no, man, just leave it as it is. It's perfect.
Nailed it, dude. And we appreciate, the things that we say, that people actually try to listen and try to.
It's nice when people
It's
actually
cool.
listen to us.
It's neat.
Instead of just getting pissed off and saying we don't understand gothic horror.
Right.
Fuck you, dude, who said that. Robbie, this has nothing to do with you. You can zone out, whatever. But dude, who said that I don't know gothic horror. I have read the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft, the complete works of Bram Stoker. I'm about halfway through the complete works of Mary Shelley. I fucking know gothic horror. I breathe and sleep Poe. Lick my taint.
All right, so when Born to Raise Hell
You
comes
leave
out,
that shit in there.
when Born to Raise
When
Hell,
Raise Hell comes out, yeah, buy it.
check it out.
I'm going to
definitely.
go ahead and put a link down in the notes description thing down below with a link to Crude Cinema, because go buy their other 2 movies, and then I'm sure they have a mailing list, and they will let you know when this one's available, and you can buy this one too.
Yes, absolutely. Go to their Facebook, their Instagram, because they post all the time. They are currently working on a new movie.
Oh, holy shit. And
Um,
I am so fucking excited. Cult of Blood.
Cult of Blood is the one they're working on. They got it mostly finished. It has Felissa Rose, it has Dave Sheridan. They are working on getting other big name horror people. Definitely watch for that. I cannot wait for it.
I've got a big fucking boner for this movie.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you already. And I was excited about it, not realizing it was a Robbie Lopez movie, because I kept seeing it getting posted on the Support Indie Horror page, and I wasn't paying attention to who was posting it. And I was like, I can't wait to fucking see this. And then I see who it was. I was like, ah, shit, yes! Dude, if the next movie is even as good as this one, if you just stay on this level forever, you have a fucking solid career. Everyone at Crude Cinema.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're picking
Yes.
on Robbie Lopez just because we know him by name.
Yeah, right.
But it takes a whole team, and you have
Everybody.
a great team.
Go support indie horror. Support Crude Cinema. If you like what we're doing, tell your freaking friends right now. Like, subscribe, and all that crap. If you want more of us, you can go to Facebook.com/StoopidMovies, Instagram @StoopidMovies. You can also email us at StoopidMovies@Outlook.com.
Before we go, send Rob pictures of Felissa Rose's dick.
Damn it.
You brought her up since she's going to
That's
be in their next
true.
movie, so
That's true. So, if you've seen Texas Death Trip and her head cheese, let me try it again.
go.
If you
You're fired.